How did your 2024 go? Did you go over budget? Did you have to pull money from savings? I did. So I'm going to talk in this video how I decide what to do to try to regroup for the new year. I hope you'll stick around. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. And right now I'm spending the winter in my RV in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. I normally live in Kansas. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year in 2025 as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. Meals I have in the fridge this week is one more serving of split pea soup. This is a 2 ladle portion. I actually made 5 portions of 2 cups out of my 2.5 quart crock pot, and that was a little more than I even thought. And as you can see, it thickens up. You can add a little water and it goes even further. And this is the last one I have left. Then I made some chicken casserole with macaroni noodles, a half of a can of peas, a half of a chicken breast, and I had a can of cream of chicken soup that I picked up for 19 cents around Christmas time that I added. I added some salt and some Parmesan cheese. I've already had one serving that was a little bit smaller than this, and I have this serving and another one left of really large servings. So that's what I have left in the fridge. And then I made 2 cups of dried beans for some bean soup. I made it with some Great Northern beans and also with some lima beans that I had, 1 cup of each. I added salt and water and a little butter and the rest of my onion that I did not use in my split pea soup for another several meals this week. So this is what I'm eating in the camper this week. As I've shared, I'm really concentrating on using up a lot of what I have this year to try to make up for the overage that I had to pull out of my savings. Now, I did have it set up where I was going to pull a little bit out of my savings every month of retirement until I reached Social Security. But then when I pulled it out in a bigger chunk than I really wanted to at the time, I thought, I think I can regroup and make up some of this. Then we traveled to Texas. My husband helped me get down here. I was as frugal as I possibly could be. We used gas rebates, we used gas apps, and we ate in our camper on the way down. But I did have to pay for a night of camping because my husband needs a CPAP hooked up and we needed electricity. And I also needed to pay for the gas to get down here. So I did have to spend a bunch on the first couple of days this month. And I'm trying to regroup a little bit because I don't want it to end up the same way it did last year, where I had to pull some out at the end of the year. And even though I have savings, I'm trying really hard not to touch it because you never know what could happen. And I might need that somewhere else. So why not try to save where I can as I can? I'm still going to do fun, frugal things while I'm down here. My in-laws and I are going to Mexico at the end of the week. I have a list made of some spices that I'm going to pick up over there and some medications. And that is all that's on my list. That's all I plan on buying. And I'm hoping to stick to that budget. I shared with you that I got a $20 gift card from my mystery shopping company that I was doing when I was home in Kansas over the last several months. And let me know how you do this, because I have a $20 gift card. I chose Walmart because there's 2 grocery stores down here. There's Walmart and there's HEB. And I thought that picking a grocery store would make the most sense because that's what I spent the most on last year was food. Even though I brought a lot of food with me, I still spent most of the money that I did spend on food. because a lot of the things that I did were free and I really didn't have that many expenses. So even here, food is my highest expenditure and I'm budgeted at $122.50 a month. But food can be an area where it can be the most flexible and I can regroup and recapture some of my savings through my food budget. So that's what I'm intending to do by using up a lot of what I have this year. Now, that $20 gift card, let me know what you would do on this. Do you take a gift card and do you spend it on something you want or something you need that will save you your own money later down the line? I'm curious what you think. Let me know. If you have a gift card, do you spend it like you got it and not pay attention to prices because it is someone else's money? Or do you treat it like it's your own? I'm one of those people, I usually spend it on something I need that will save my own money down the line in case I want to use that money for something that I want. We got a little bit of Christmas money from my in laws for Christmas. They no longer really do presents, they just give us a little bit of money. And my husband and I talked about it, and he said we could put it towards our vacation. And I told him, I said, well, most everything for our vacation has been prepaid already, except for food and the rental car. That's everything has already been paid. So why don't we use it to go ahead and get propane for the winter? And he agreed. He said, yes, let's go ahead and get propane with it. So that's what we decided to do. Now, that $20 gift certificate, I have a list on my phone of some things that I would like to add to the food stores that I have here to make my food go farther. I had mentioned in another video, if I bought a dozen eggs and a loaf of bread, I could probably get another 12 meals easily out of the stuff that I already have here at the camper. Eggs are really expensive. I'm not sure what they cost down here, but we're going to find out here in just a bit because we're going to go check out the prices at Walmart. Also, I have tried to cut down on how much bread I'm eating. I do have some gluten sensitivities. So I've been holding off on buying the bread because I'm really trying to lessen how much wheat that I eat. I also had some other ideas on my list that I thought might save me my own money down the road. I could get some more cat food while I'm in there. And there are some rebates on Ibotta for the cat food that I normally buy. And I thought, well, that would save me some money and give me some cash back. I also have some frozen fruit on my list because I like to make smoothies when I'm in the camper. The only thing I put in that is some sweetener and my fruit and a little bit of orange juice, and that's all. And I don't have any orange juice, so I put that on my list. I don't have any cornbread to go with my beans. I had forgot to bring any of my pre-mixed cornbread that I'd made in jars at home with me. I left earlier this year than last year based on my husband's schedule to get me down here. And I knew there was going to be a few things that I did not grab. And I packed a lot lighter this year. So I forgot to bring anything to make cornbread with. I don't have any cornmeal. And I thought, well, it might be cheaper just to buy a little mix or two of like Jiffy Mix. I'm low on dried kidney beans. I thought I might pick those up on my list. I know I hardly have any of those left at home. And there's no tax on food down here. There's still tax on food in Kansas. I think it's 2% right now. But if you buy it in a city that also has a tax, it can be as high as 3.5, 4% on your food. So there's no tax on food down here. So I keep that in mind as well when I'm picking items up. And I know what I need at home because I keep a running list. I will probably also pick up some more milk and some more creamer for my coffee. Those are two things that I buy regularly when I'm down here. So that will save me a little bit of money also. So those are a few of the things that I have on my list to pick up. And I think just those few items will probably come really close to being $20. But those are the only items that I thought of, and I thought of them ahead of time to add to what I had here to make my food go even farther and to keep me from spending my own money right now as I'm trying to regroup from last year. Let me know how you would spend that $20, or even if you would put very much thought into it and you would just go and buy something that you've been wanting on your wish list. Now, you may be thinking, I don't think that much about how I spend my money, or she overthinks how she spends her money. But when you have a finite amount of money coming in and you are living on a low income, I find that to keep the life that I want, which is a life where I don't have to go back to work full time, I need to think about my expenditures. I hear intentional spending, but I prefer the words strategic spending. As you can see from my examples, I looked at what I can buy that will go with what I already have to extend the amount of meals I can get out of the stuff I already have. Some people call this reverse meal planning. They call it that because they see what they have first and they add to it. And then I look at sales and specials. That's usually all I buy. And I use that to figure out what I'm going to make with what I already have. Now, I have to do it a little bit different here. Since I'm living in a camper and I have a very small amount of space in my freezer and in my fridge, I have to really use the idea of what can I put with the few things I have, because I can't stock up much more, to make the stuff I have go farther. When you're at home and you have more space, you can be more liberal with picking up some of those sales and specials and stockpiling. But I do not have the room to stockpile here. I have the camper, I have the trunk of my car, and that is all. So I don't want to overspend or overstock while I'm living in my RV. And before I even think about going shopping for the things on my list, I have to look and see if I have the space for the cold items in the freezer and the fridge. So I'm moving some items around to see if I would even have room for the frozen fruit, for the milk and the creamer. And it is pretty full in here right now. So I'm trying to see if I could squeeze those items in. I'm back from Walmart. Let me show you what I ended up with. So I went ahead and I got some frozen strawberries and frozen blueberries to make my smoothies. The blueberries were $2.47 for a pound, and the strawberries were $2.46 for a pound. I don't think that's bad. At home, I use a lot more fresh, but here, frozen just works better. I know nothing is going to go bad, and I don't have to try to hurry to eat it. Then I went ahead and got my cat chow. Now, I got some gentle this time since Fluff has had a little bit of a queasy stomach, but I paid $6.28 for this, and then on Ibotta I had a $2 rebate and a 10 cents off of any cat food. So $2.10 back on Ibotta for this, making it a total of $4.18. I went ahead and got another creamer. Now I paid more for it down here than I would at home. I usually catch it on sale at home, and I brought some with me with those sale prices. I still have one and about an eighth left. It was $3.97. At home, I usually pay about $2.50 to $3. I got a milk, and I had to get half gallon because that's what fits in my refrigerator, for $2.32. I got some cornbread. They were on sale for only 50 cents, so I got two of those. Now, this recipe calls for 1 egg and 1/3 cup milk. I brought some almond milk that was left over from the holidays in my fridge. I'm going to be baking with that. And I went ahead and got a half of a dozen of eggs. They were $2.62. So I think this is more than enough for me. And I just decided to get half a dozen because I wanted to stay in that $20 range. I ended up spending $21.64. 52 cents was tax that was on the cat food, and I got that rebate. So with that rebate with Ibotta, I ended up actually getting back in my pocket 46 cents extra cash. So I didn't think I ended up doing too bad with that. Let me know what you think. I decided to forego the orange juice this go around. For one thing, I saw how much room I had, and my refrigerator and freezer are smack full now. What I bought fit in there perfectly, but I wouldn't have had room for it. Plus, it was almost $4 for 59 ounces. I actually prefer to have smoothies when it gets really hot outside down here. We've got another week of like 50s and 60s ahead of us, and so I can wait a while on that. Plus, I really wanted to show you how I could stay in that $20 budget and supplement the things that I had to make my food stretch. So far this month, I have spent $3.25 on birthday cards. I have spent $8 and something on cat litter. I went ahead and got a big bag. I will keep that in my car and just scoop it out as I need it. It was the better deal. And I bought 3 onions for $1. Now, I do plan on going to the farmer's market probably tomorrow and getting a package of carrots. They usually run $1, and they have ginormous carrots down here that I will show you in one of the next videos. That's all I need. I can stretch this out for a long time yet. I'm really proud of myself for spending so little this month, and I think that will help me replace a little bit of my food money into my budget. And that's what my goal is right now, so that I can afford to sightsee and do other things I want to do while I'm here in Texas. Let me know your thoughts. I hope to talk to you in the comments, and please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon.